wanna get to know me? Why don't you just prove it, babe? Cause I wanna be the one. Fill me up. Yeah, I like to be the one. Hear me on this line.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl Billy Marie. Welcome back to my channel. If you are looking for a new spin on regular old pizza, then this is the video for you because we are getting into Philly cheesesteak pizza. You're going to need some dry active yeast. It comes in a 3-pack, but you only need one of these, so just cut one off. And you're going to add it to a cup of very warm water, and you're going to add 2 teaspoons of sugar, and you're going to let it sit for about 7 minutes, and it's going to look fluffy like this, and that's how you know it's ready. Now you want to get your flour mixture together, which consists of 2.5 cups of flour and a teaspoon of salt. And you're going to go ahead and mix those together. Now it's time to get into the herbs. So grab your Italian seasoning, and you want a heaping tablespoon of Italian seasoning in there, and it's going to give it a nice flavor, okay? And you want to just go ahead and get your rubber spatula, and you want to just lightly mix it together. Now you want to go ahead and add your yeast mixture into your flour mixture, and you want to do a little light mix, but don't mix it too much because we still have to add the oil. So just go ahead and lightly mix it so you can kind of get it incorporated. Now it's time for the olive oil because pizza dough loves olive oil. They are besties, okay? So you are going to need 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Y'all remember that song? You can do it, put your back into it. Yeah, that's what you're about to do right here because you're going to have to mix and mix and mix until the dough starts to form and the dough pulls away from the bowl. Go ahead and get your baking sheet. I'm using this gigantic pizza pan, and you want to pour some oil on there, and it's time to get your hands dirty. If you don't like getting your hands dirty, then homemade pizza dough is not for you. So get that oil all over that pan and put some more oil on your hands and start kneading this dough. This is what your dough is going to look like after you mix it very well and it starts to pull away from the bowl like I was saying earlier. This is what it should look like. And you want to just go ahead and start pressing it out, okay? You can use a rolling pin if you want to, but I like to get my hands dirty, so I'm just gonna go ahead and press it out with my hands because this is a really soft dough. It gives you a little bit of resistance, but if you oil your hands really well, you'll be able to work this dough out in no time. It's time to get a little clingy because it's time for this dough to sit and rise. So wrap this with some cling wrap, sit it in a warm spot so it can get nice and fluffy. Where you going? Come on back. While our dough is rising, we're going to go ahead and cut up our veggies. You need a bell pepper and you need an onion. You can slice your veggies however you want. This is just how I slice mine. This is your pizza. It's your show. You can slice it however you want. This is just the way that I did it. Onions don't be trying to be mean, but sometimes they can make you cry. So I got a tip for you. If you are one of those people who do not like your eyes watering when you're cutting onions, I suggest you put your onions in the refrigerator and let them get cold. If you cut the onions while they're cold, you have a very slim chance of the onions making your eyes water. That's just a tip for you. Now it's time to get to the beef. So go ahead and grab those sandwich steaks. That's what I'm using. I'm using some Steakum meat, and I got a skillet, and I'm putting a little bit of grease in there to help get it going. I got my heat on medium heat, and I'm just going to go ahead and start cooking up this Steakum meat because this is a Philly cheesesteak pizza, right? So we need steak. So I like to break mine beforehand, but you can just throw the sandwich steaks in there and cook them however you want. But I break mine beforehand because I like mine to be kind of small. I'm adding a little seasoning salt, little garlic powder, little onion powder, and I'm adding some pepper. But you can season your meat however you want, but you know, I just got to put a little spice on mine because I want it to have some flavor because we love flavor, don't we? So go ahead and cook that until it's done. And I like to continue to break mine up with the spoon. You can use whatever you want, but I'm using a spoon because that's what I'm using. Now, grab you some butter. Because now that our meat is done, we're going to put that to the side. It's time to cook up them veggies that we cut up. So go ahead and grab your bell pepper and your onion and stick it in that skillet with that butter. And I like to put a little salt, a little pepper on my veggies so they can have a little flavor too. Because Bobby Flay said you should season every component of your dish if you want it to taste good. So that's what I'm doing. Thank you, Bobby Flay. So go ahead and cook those veggies until they're kind of translucent, but you don't want to overcook the veggies, but just go ahead and cook them until they're kind of soft. I kind of overcooked mine. That's what y'all don't want to do. You see my onions, they're a little brown, but it's okay because we're going to work with it. Now it's time for the sauce. I'm using a tablespoon of butter and a tablespoon of flour, and I'm going to go ahead and start mixing that together. Once again, my skillet, my heat is on medium heat. I really wanted to use a whisk or a fork, but I couldn't find one, so I end up using a spoon. And you're going to need a half a cup of milk. It works better if you have a whisk, so please use a whisk if you have one, because this spoon, it was not really working for me, but I made it do what it do, okay? So we're going to mix that together. Just keep on mixing it, trying to break up that flour so you don't have little flour bits in there. And I also added some fresh garlic. Lastly, you want to add about a 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese, or however much Parmesan cheese you want, but no more than a 1/4 cup. And you want to keep mixing it and mixing it. As you can see, it's starting to get really, really thick. So when it starts to get really, really thick, you want to remove it from the heat. But this is how it should look once everything is well incorporated. Now let's get the spread in. Get your rubber spatula, get your dough that has been sitting and rising. It's ready for you. Unwrap that dough from that cling wrap and get your sauce on your pizza dough. Grab that meat that we put to the side, start sprinkling it on. Go ahead and grab them veggies and start sprinkling that on top of the meat or wherever you want to put it on your pizza. Yes. Y'all can't say this don't look good, y'all. It's starting to look good already, ain't it? It is. Now grab some mozzarella cheese and start sprinkling that on top. You can add as much or as little as you like. It's all about you. But that's how I did mine, okay? Now it's time to throw this bad boy into the oven, bake it, and this is how it's going to look when it comes out, y'all. Oh my gosh. My mouth is watering. Is your mouth watering? This just looks so good and it's so delicious. Go ahead and get you a pizza cutter. Pizza Hut people, this is how you cut a pizza. Because every time I go to the Pizza Hut, my pizza be sliced all messed up. This is how you cut a pizza, okay? Thanks for watching. Enjoy.